Hey guys, it's Mana here, and we're back with Elisa, the Innkeeper, the prequel. I have my dual monitor set up, but for some reason when I put Elisa on this monitor, it doesn't record. It just gives me it just records a black screen. So I need to figure that one out. If I'm using Action by Marillis, if you guys know anything about that, feel free to leave me some tips down in the comments. I got Dead by Daylight to record the other day when I was testing it, so I don't know if it's because it's a visual novel and not a video game. I don't know how it determines which one it can record and which one it can't. I don't know. All I know is I don't feel like dealing with it anymore. I just want to read the story, you know? So we're going to pick up where we left off. Wait a second. If he came here to make me sign the documents, it means yesterday he wasn't able to get anything out of me. My fears were unfounded. I'm getting ready. Give me a moment to dress up. I have no time to lose waiting for you to titivate yourself. Open the damn door. The prince was busy fixing up his clothes as well as he could, trying to remember all the details of the deal he agreed upon the day before. It would have been unforgivable to appear without having any idea of how to resume the talks. What kind of impression will I give if he sees all this mess? I will never be able to clean up all this, he said, giving up as he walked up to the door. I actually thought last evening. Why don't you clean up a bit before going to bed? His shame became so unbearable that the prince impulsively jumped out of the room. Here I am. Can we take a seat downstairs? I would like some privacy. Your room will be perfect for that. What need is there to stay in the room when we can talk downstairs and have a drink? I don't really feel like drinking after last night. Oh, please, let's walk down. I'll offer you a round. No, really, I'm not feeling like it. I mean it. Don't make me beg you. For what I care, you're free to drink all you want afterwards. Please, let's go in. I want to close this up quickly. What if I offer you lunch? A fancy steak or some cake? We could even invite a fine lady to lunch with us. What about this? What the hell are you hiding in that room? You came to the point of offering me a meal. This is so unlike you. Quit the excuses. Please, make way. The glare of the prince, hearing those words, became almost threatening. I'm dead serious. It's a bad idea to enter, he added, interposing himself between the door and the other person. Seeing this scene, the merchant gave up insisting and finally decided to listen to the prince. He turned and started walking down the stairs. Once to the bottom of the stairs, they picked a table in a less crowded corner so they could have some quiet while they talked. Before I sign, I would like to know what happened last night. My mind is clouded. I don't remember much at all, he said, sitting on the stool very patiently. Very patiently, the merchant started explaining the events of last night without omitting a single detail. Last night we came to this inn because the sun was setting, and finally we managed to agree on the last details of our deal. So last night you did not coerce me into signing against my will, right? I wish. Last night I squandered a fortune to have him drink. But this guy is stingy, even while drunk. Who do you think I am? I'm an honorable person in business. Very well. So, where are the papers? Let's not waste any more time. Bring them out. The merchant brought out the written deal, but it was easy to tell that any kind of excitement had disappeared from his face. He certainly did not expect an easy deal. However, the unexpected hurriedness of the prince was getting to his nerves. This is the final deal we agreed on yesterday. I urge you to sign it now, so I can leave this hole quickly. And I will not have to deal with you again. After a quick read, the prince grabbed a pen from his pocket, inscribing a quick and clean signature on the deal. Did you read the deal first, sir? I signed. Now give me the money. Don't worry about that. The prince saw the merchant about to stow the papers away in his bag and had a sudden doubt. He swiftly grabbed the arm of the merchant, stopping him. Has he noticed? What does this part mean? Are you talking about this small variation? It's only about 50 gold coins, just a tiny detail. How could you dare modify your proposal without telling me? I saw that your castle is in need of some renovations. This calls for additional expenses. Lowering the amount I'm offering for the purchase was the very least I had to do. And you took the liberty of not notifying me? Did you think I would not notice? The sum I deducted is yet another kind concession I made. For your castle, I will need to spend at least double that. It requires extensive renovations. If I did not say that before, it was only to spare you more concerns. This all makes no sense. For you, perhaps. Are you really hoping that I'll agree to this? I would, yes. You have little choice after all. Yeah, let's confront him. The merchant crossed his arms and made himself more comfortable on the stool. He took a look at the prince as he was rereading the contract. He can think about it as much as he wants. I have no wish to give more concessions. Are you kidding me? He asked, now dead serious as he put down the documents. In such business, I always am serious. 50 gold coins are no small change. I'm a merchant. I know the difference between a fair deal and a rip-off. Right. You should feel honored to have such a seller as me. I am a part of the nobility, after all. After we seal this deal, and after the voice gets around, you will have many more clients willing to make business with you. The merchant was not convinced by this argument at all. He sneered and replied swiftly, These are empty words. You are a prince. You were once rich, however you, with your father, squandered away all you had. Do not say one more word for your own sake. The prince looked extremely frustrated, rage and anxiety showing on his face. The merchant, unfazed, kept talking. You need this money. I cannot see any alternatives for you if you do not take this deal now. The nobility has two defining characteristics, pride and dignity. In front of such a blatant humiliation, one of these two failed in the young prince. Blinded by rage, he jumped forward, threw down his stool, and unsheathed his sword. I told you to shut up. Are you deaf? This is not about money anymore. This is your life on the line. The merchant, one moment ago so relaxed and confident, transformed completely. He stood up shakingly as his face turned white, and he raised his hands. Let's keep calm, please. There's no need for this excess. It's just business. I had no intention of showing disrespect. But that's what you did. If this is just business, as you say, then you certainly do not look like a shrewd businessman. In fact, I'm surprised that you are still alive. As the prince neared the end of his sentence, his blade neared the neck of the merchant. The scene lasted only a few seconds, but to these people, they felt like minutes, or hours even. The merchant thought he was done for, but luck, usually not taking any part in these occasions, sided with him. Stop, or I'll have to call the guards! A waiter came to the two, just at the right time. His intervention effectively diffused the tense situation. Do not meddle in other people's business, boy. The sword, very close to the merchant's neck, started shaking as a host of bad thoughts and doubts was filling the mind of the prince. Damn, why do you have to intervene now? This satisfaction could cost me my freedom. I cannot make any mistakes. Please, you're right. Let's put this away. I'm convinced. I will give you these 50 gold coins. No, this affront is too grave. 50 coins are not nearly enough. I demand double that in compensation. Double? Please be reasonable. It is you who has to weigh your next words well, my dear merchant. Leaving this last phrase hanging as a threat, the prince grasped his hilt strongly as he drove the sword into the table. His motion was so quick and sudden that everyone in the room jolted. The waiter pushed aside the crowd behind him and left the room without saying anything else. Item unlocked. Broken sword. Item unlocked. Money! I don't know what voices I want to do for either one yet, so I'm just kind of not giving them much of one yet. Sorry. Damn, he certainly went to fetch the guards. This is not a good thing at all. I do not want to be seen in this predicament. My prestige would suffer. Moreover, these papers are not completely lawful. Aching to see this dangerous situation solved, the merchant threw the coins on the table as quick as he could, then hastily gathered his papers and said his goodbyes. I believe it is time for me to go, he said, disappearing from sight. Finally, I had the better of him. He was satisfied with himself. He smiled and bagged the money. The merchant had fled so fast he forgot to close the door. Such a nice sight for the prince, who could finally boast of victory against his rival. The people I'm forced to deal with these days. He even threatened me with a sword for a few coins. The merchant was gone. However, the prince needed more than a little while before he could calm down and find some composure. Many people had seen that scene, and even if it looked like the show was over, they still were there, muttering among themselves. Even if this situation almost slipped out of my control, I could turn the tide in my favor. It is really unbelievable that I suffered no consequences. Though he thought, completely distracted from the world around him, his eyes closed. Did you see what he did? Deplorable. Such a ruckus. The noise in the room only grew. It was impossible for such a proud nobleman to ignore the deprecating words that were being openly said at that point. They regard me as nothing more than a petty criminal. Do you think I should alert the guards? Yeah, I saw. I'd be so embarrassed right now if I were in his shoes. It is wise. Who knows what it... But I didn't even get to read the rest of that. I didn't see him the first time. A prince behaving like that? I've heard his family is in shambles. Do you think we should leave? Knowing that causing another scene would have certainly brought problems with the guards, the prince, with an inhuman effort, managed to ignore the affront. He sheathed his sword and left the inn without saying a single word. What do these plebeians know about what I'm worth? Let them talk. It's no use wasting time with such people. It was still his pride speaking, whereas in that moment, a common person would certainly have hid different feelings. Is it possible that nobility alone could change a person so much? Maybe I did cross the line there, he said to himself, fiddling with the bag of gold he had just obtained. I certainly do not care about the opinion of the common folk. However, that merchant... He said he was being generous. Is that the truth? Maybe I should ask him for more details. He was talking to himself, trying to find excuses for resuming to go after the man he had just threatened to kill. Such twisted minds, these noblemen, especially when they bring themselves to make apologies. He left the inn not long ago. It shouldn't be too hard to track him down. His slow walk quickly turned into a run. As expected, it was really easy to find the merchant, who was walking along the way himself, fully immersed in his thoughts. He had almost reached the doorstep of his favorite inn. Clearly he needed a moment of respite after that long and hazardous morning. Relieved of having escaped danger, it was a blow to him having to face reality again. I finally found you. I forgot to ask you for some important details. Stop! Damn, it's him again. At this point, he had reached Elisa's inn. Should he run inside and bar the door? Not a good idea, although in some way he really wanted to right now. Look, I really care about the owner of this inn. I really do not want to get into another argument here. What do you want? I know this inn, and the innkeeper too. Let's go inside. I'll explain everything once we find a place to sit. Here we go again. The merchant, without replying, walked to the prince with a smirk on his face. All right, as you wish. This time I need not worry. I have the certainty that in here you will never make a rushed gesture like that, like you did this morning. You never make a fool of yourself in front of the innkeeper. Alright, I'm going to end it here, guys. I'm out of time for this for today. I'm going to keep trying to figure out how to get it to record over on this screen. Not sure how I'm going to do that. I gotta play with it, I guess. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you guys have any tips on getting Action by Marillis to work over there, excuse me, let me know. I'm logging off now. I'll see you guys later, and remember to do something nice for a stranger today. You may just save a life. Bye!